The subreddit r/unpopular opinions is home to people posting their opinions they believe to be unpopular, as the name would imply. I want to go through the top posts from this subreddit and see how many of them I agree with. I assume it's going to be a lot of them. People who close window blinds on airplanes have lost the joy of living? What? No. I maybe agree on like takeoff and landing if you're taking off or landing from somewhere that looks pretty spectacular. But if you're just amongst the clouds or like above the clouds and it's just like pure sun coming in, there's not really much to see, and it's fucking bright. I'm a man who likes the dark. I love the darkness. It's probably because I wear these shades for a couple hours a day when I'm recording. I just love being in the dark. There's very few things I dislike more than having the big light on in the living room, like, you know, the big sort of when you got like spotlights in the scene. If I can't put the spotlights on, I can't. It feels wrong. It feels dirty. I can see like every bit of dust on the floor and the table. I can't do it. I need to be in the dark. Not even the dark, just not necessarily the blinding light. Anyway, let's hear this person's rationale. By default, you should keep the window shades open so your roommates can see out the window and the miracle of human flight. There's nothing to see in takeoff and landing, maybe, but it's just not. It's just, you're just looking at clouds, and I get it. It's cool. Maybe if it's your first time flying. But most people alive today grew up with flight being a fairly normal thing to do. And it is weird though that how accustomed we have gotten to just being like 50,000 feet in the air. But still, there's nothing to see. You're just looking at the clouds. What, you expect me to just look at the clouds for hours on end in the blinding light? Come on. People can request it closed if they want to nap, and it can be lowered if the glare is intense, but otherwise, I judge the shit out of you for closing the blind for ignoring how cool it is to look out of the window in an airplane. But most of the time, as I said, there is just nothing to see. Where's my gavel? I need to make judgment on this. I need to pass judgment. I decree that I don't agree with this. Fuck that. No, I close the blinds at every opportunity unless there is something cool to see. The don't talk to me until I've had my coffee types are insufferable. Yeah, is this even an unpopular opinion? Congratulations on making your caffeine addiction your personality. I hate to break it, but if you think drinking your hot bean juice as soon as you get out of bed will stop you from being a pain in the ass to coexist with, then odds are you are already miserable to begin with. Drink some water, go on all that. I agree that. I agree with that. Just drink, like, honestly, like, I don't drink the only caffeine I have is tea. Like, I'll always have a tea before recording. It just wakes me up a little bit, makes me feel, it makes me a little bit, what's the word? I don't know, brighter. It makes me I don't know, it wakes me up a little bit. I have a big mug of tea before I record most of the time, but that's like the only caffeine I consume. And rods, of course. I'll have the odd rods every now and then. But yeah, no, I couldn't drink coffee every morning or multiple times a day. Fuck that. I'd be all trembling and shit. Drink some water, go on a walk, do something other than chugging a Colombian laxative and making it other people's problems when you can't get your grubby mitts on it immediately. Tea's better than it. Yeah, tea's pretty fucking good. But yeah, I agree. We went too hard on Karens. Oh, shut up. No one likes a Karen, I get it, but the wide strokes we went to discourage Karen behavior also took out the beneficial Karen-adjacent niche of person who speaks up when someone is watching a TV show with no headphones on airplanes or public transportation. Like a dolphin caught in a tuna net. Okay. Yeah, to be fair, like when something does go wrong, like if I'm at a restaurant or, you know, whatever, I never speak up now. Just because it's like, oh, I don't want to be a Karen, you know? I don't want to be... However, I think discouraging a lot of that behavior is maybe a good thing. I don't think it ever discourages someone speaking up when someone's watching something loudly on public transportation. I think everyone can agree those people are fucking dickheads. The fear of being labelled a Karen, no one wants to engage and maintain order, and we are all a little worse off for it. I don't think so. We have no one left to defend us, and the social contract is crumbling. Damn it! Karens were the only ones keeping the social contract together. No, I don't agree. Yeah, I just don't agree with that one, I don't think. Maybe we did go too hard on some of them, but I don't know. They were annoying, weren't they? VR is dead, and no one wants to admit it. The hype wave came and went, and now we're left with a handful of novelty games that barely justify the hardware. The killer app never arrived. Most VR games are glorified minigames, ports, or gimmicks. Even titles like Half-Life Alyx couldn't push beyond the medium because it's too niche. It's been years, and nothing has come close. AAA support is non-existent, and most indie devs have moved on. Okay, right, I don't think VR is dead. I think it's going to be on quite a long hiatus. To be fair, I am quite tempted to get, it says that there's a new Steam one. There's also the Meta Quest that looks quite fun. I have been tempted to get those machines, but I don't, it's like an expensive piece of hardware. It's bulky. They are getting better at it, because you used to have like these sensors. Cause I bought a HTC Vive like 5 or 6 years ago. You used to have to have these sensors put up all around your room or your setup. Now, I don't think you need that. I think you just need the headset, and it works it out itself. So that's a massive improvement. But I think the thing is, they're still too bulky. That it's a process putting it on. But I think once we get to the point where you can play VR games just by wearing glasses, I think that will change a lot of things. I don't know if it will ever replace, just sort of looking at a screen and playing a game, mouse, keyboard, with a controller or whatever, because it's an activity in it. It's like the Wii. The Wii was it was more of an activity than a gaming console. VR games are exactly like that. They're too energy intensive. Like, have you ever played like a game on I'm guessing a lot of you have played games on VR. I mean, not only are they mentally draining, they're also physically draining. And they make your head hurt a bit. I don't know how far technology's come in the last 5 or 6 years, but sometimes they can make your head hurt a little bit. But I think once they manage to get that technology into sort of lightweight glasses where you can just put on a game, I think it will improve. But again, I don't think it will ever overtake being able to play games on a monitor or TV. I don't think it's dead. I think it's on a big hiatus, though. I don't think it will ever be as big as maybe we thought it would be. But it's definitely not dead, no. Night showers are the only showers that actually matter. Okay. If you only shower in the morning, you're literally going to bed every night covered in the filth of the day before. Dirt from your commute, sweat from the gym. I mean, I assume most people shower after going to the gym. Germs from touching everything in public spaces. All of that is now on your sheets and pillow. Congrats, you're marinating in it all night. Showering at night actually makes way more sense for hygiene. You go to bed clean, your sheets stay fresher longer, and you're not dragging the day's mess into the place you rest. Morning showers, in comparison, feel like more of a ritual or a wake me up thing. Okay, right. I think the thing is, I can see both sides of this, because in the morning I have a shower, and before I go to bed I'll usually have a bath. I need a shower to wake me up. Like, it's my coffee. It's my, don't talk to me until I've had my shower, because I just feel grim until I've had a shower. I need a shower in the morning, especially in the summer. Like, you get so fucking hot in bed. Maybe Americans don't, because like they got aircon and stuff. I'm not jealous. I promise I'm not jealous. And also, like, when you go to bed, a lot of the time your hair just goes weird. Like, sometimes you just need to like give it a wash, or like just put water on it. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but I think there's reasonable arguments for both, but I think you have to have a shower in the morning. I think that's a have to, and if you want to have a shower at night, that's also good. Of course, if you want to do both, fine, but if you're only going to choose one, it should be the night shower. I don't agree, because that's the one that actually keeps you and your bed clean. Yeah, but if you're changing your bed sheets like weekly, which you should be, I mean, I say that I've had my bed sheets on for maybe 2 weeks now. Not very good, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, I don't agree with this. Not being serious in your 20s is a recipe for failure. I would agree. But let's hear this person's justification. If there's one notion that is absolutely keeping people back, it's the idea that your 20s are somehow meant to be fun and exploratory. They are, but they can also be both. They can also be both, you can be serious about your career and future and also have fun. What's worse is that this is a very common piece of advice dished out by older adults, people whom these young folk look up to for guidance. Is it? I don't know. Most older people are sort of like, work hard for your future, but also have fun. I mean, that's what I've always been told. Like, make the most of your 20s, but also like think for the future. I don't think it has to be necessarily one way or the other. Like, you sacrifice your whole 20s for your future, or you sack everything off and just have loads of fun. It's not either or. Everything in your life is determined by the time you hit 30. Your career prospects, your relationships, your health habits, your degree of financial responsibility, and your hobbies. I wouldn't agree with all of that. I think if you can work hard in your 20s and get a big leg up by the time you're in your 30s, that can definitely help a hell of a lot. But I don't think it necessarily, like health habits, like, I don't know, I see people all the time who started, taking their health seriously in their 40s. Your relationships, again, like, not most people nowadays do not meet their lifelong partner in their 20s. I mean, I would assume. Your degree of financial responsibility to an extent, but I don't think it's the be all and end all. And your hobbies, no, definitely not. Like you see old people picking up like hobbies all the time. Like, people pick up hobbies in their 40s, 50s, 60s. Not saying the 40s old, but still. But definitely, I think your career prospects. I think that is determined by the time you hit 30. A lot of time. Not to give any of you an existential crisis, but I think if you haven't really done too much by the time you're 30, that's pretty deciding, I think. at least. Yes, you can change some of these later, but most people don't, and those who do face disadvantages and struggles. Yes, some people make it in their 50s, but those are the exception to the rule and shouldn't constitute a model. I'm not advising anybody to suffer through 10 years of a rat race, but rather to take this period seriously and make calculated decisions. I would agree with that. Don't study something you're interested in just for the heck of it. Yeah, to be fair, I would... To an extent, I would agree with that, because it's like there's so many degrees out there, and a lot of them, it's just like, well, how are you going to get a job after? I understand you're interested in it, but like, you don't need to go fucking 50 grand in debt to get a piece of paper that confirms you are interested in that subject. I don't know. Maybe I'm old. Maybe I'm old fashioned, but I just don't think that's the case. If you're really interested in something, invest in it in your spare time. I would say, however, on that, you have to pick a career that you're interested in. You don't necessarily have to pick the thing you are most interested in, because you could be most interested in something that simply doesn't pay the bills and wouldn't be, it would be a total waste of money to go out and study at a university. Don't take 2 years off to find yourself in the jungles of Southeast Asia. I would disagree with that. I think that probably sounds quite fun. You will come back a complete insufferable dickhead. But, if you've got the means to, why the fuck not? Hunker down and get serious about your future first. Yeah, but then, the future is always coming. And it's like, if you want to take 2 years off and find yourself in the jungles of Southeast Asia, there's no better time to do it than when you're young. You don't want to be the fucking... You don't want to be the 40-year-old staying in the hostel, do you? Hunker down and get serious about your future first, while maintaining a healthy balance with your other activities you enjoy and areas of interest. And only once you figure that out, go and have extra fun by doing those things, of course. Okay, right, I there's a lot in this post that I sort of agree with and a lot that I don't. So I'm not gonna make a verdict on this. Actually, no, I agree with most of it, I think. So I'll put a light agree on this post. Oreo needs to be stopped. Oreos are trash and overhyped. No, they're not. Oreos are fucking sick. Like, I kind of held this opinion maybe until like a few months ago, and now I just always have Oreos in my cupboard. They are fucking good. Oreos are good, and we do not need an Oreo variation of every single snack product and baked goods in every single grocery store. I would agree, like, because they do like fucking cereal and stuff. Like, is it necessary? Do we need an Oreo cereal? I don't think so. I'm also tired of seeing Oreo cakes and ice cream and frosting and candy. Even Oreo has a cookie and cream version of Oreo loaded. Sorry, this is just frying my brain. Even Oreo has a cookie and cream version of Oreo loaded Oreos. We get it. You and everyone else for some freaking reason thinks you're the best cookie in the world. I don't think maybe the best, but they're good. They're fucking good. I would disagree with this, because they're just sort of products that people will want to buy, I guess. I do think maybe it goes a little bit overboard, but Oreos, they are good. Nobody wants your in-house ketchup. Nothing more pretentious than going to a burger place and having no other option than some fucking sauce that tastes like water with a hint of tomato. I would fucking agree. I just want Heinz or Hunt's. I don't know what Hunt's is. I'm guessing that's an American brand. Yeah, Heinz ketchup. Fuck, you can't beat it. You really can't beat it. I'm not even a ketchup man, but Heinz ketchup, you cannot beat it. Or that, that one that they have in the kebab shops, like the big squeezy one. Yeah, that's all right as well. Or literally any other mass sold ketchup. I don't care that it's full of sugar. That's why. Yeah, oh man, have you ever had like low sugar ketchup? It's fucking grim. Oh, it's so disgusting. There's a reason why there's so much sugar in ketchup, because it's grim without it. I don't care that it's full of sugar. That's why I want to eat it. Yep, totally. We don't need you pouring time into something that has already been figured out. Stop spending so much time figuring out how to make your ketchup taste like shit and focus on getting the rest of your food to a higher standard. Yeah, I mostly agree. Going out to eat for breakfast is terrible. I will never understand why people like going out to eat for breakfast. One, pretty much all breakfast food can be made easily at home. Pancakes, eggs, waffles, etc. are very easy and cheap to make yourself. Two, eating out for breakfast even means waking up earlier than normal to eat on time, or eating later, as you have to wake up, get ready, drive there, wait for your order to be taken, and then wait for the food, versus rolling out of bed and just starting breakfast. So yeah, anytime someone says, hey, let's go out for breakfast, I just get annoyed. It's got to be one of the worst ways to start the day. Okay, right, yes, I would agree. In normal day-to-day life, I don't eat breakfast in general. I'm an anti-breakfast man. I think it just slows me down, to be honest. I mean, I've got a very fast-paced life. I get on here, I read unpopular opinions. Yeah, it's a fucking busy life I lead. But I don't know, I feel as though it just kind of slows. Like, if I have, especially if it's a big, like, most I'll have in the morning is like a banana. Like, I just eating carbs that early in the day, I don't know, it makes me feel sluggish. However, when I am on holiday in America, or like if I'm at a hotel and it's half board and I only get breakfast for free, I will get up at 7 a.m. I will go to that toast machine. I'll go to the guy making the omelette. I will make the most of that breakfast in that case. Also, I said America, like if I'm America, I will go to fucking IHOP. I will go to Denny's, because they are great. They are very delicious establishments. However, like, I wouldn't do it outside a holiday, not in my day-to-day life at all. As this person says, it has to be one of the worst ways to start the day if you're actually like doing shit. So yeah, I agree. You don't get a +1 to a wedding. Not getting a +1 isn't an insult, it's normal. You're there to support the couple, not to make it your own perfect social outing. I completely agree. Like when my wedding day eventually comes, I would not want people I don't know there, frankly. Like they just absolutely not. I'm not paying to feed someone I don't fucking... Do you know how expensive wedding food is? Oh, like, I've got a few friends that are married. It's so fucking expensive to get food for weddings. Like, how much... I'm going to look up how much it is per head. Yeah, I mean, it's like £40 to £60 per... I'm not paying that for someone I don't fucking know. Weddings are expensive, intimate, and planned down to the head count. Yeah, 100%. You don't need to bring someone just to avoid being alone for a few hours. 90% or more of the people at the wedding are certified cool by the bride and or groom. You're literally surrounded by people the people you love also love. If you're in a serious long-term relationship or living with your partner, sure, that's different. Yeah, I'd agree. They're part of your life and it makes sense to include them. If I haven't met them, I would be excited to do so. But if it's someone you've just started dating, oh, that's the... Like, yeah, no, that'd be awful. Like, if someone's been dating someone for like 2 months and they bring them along to your wedding, it's just like... Or a friend you want as a tag along. It's not a personal slight to be invited solo. You'll be fine. Yeah, 100% agree. First class should be called in last in flights. First class passengers should be called last when boarding. It gives time to be late. Why do you need to be there before everyone just to be called first if you're paying like 10 times? You don't need to be. I think it's just like something they offer because I mean, I've never sat in first class, but the seats, I imagine they're very comfortable, you know, and I mean, I'm assuming you're getting served champagne, maybe a little snack beforehand. It's a luxurious experience, I'd imagine. You're not just being shoved in like a plane seat. 2, it avoids to have all other people walking through you as they board. I mean, what kind of first class are you thinking about? Are you thinking about, you know, like when they, you know, like the bit shitty business class on like domestic flights around Europe? Is that what this person's thinking about? Because in like long haul first class, you go in and then left is like, it's like, that's like premium economy business first, and then when you turn right, that's economy. So I honestly don't know who the fuck is paying for domestic business class, because it's like, it's always like 4 times more expensive, and the only benefit you get is there's no one sat in the middle of you, and it's just like, why the fuck are you paying so much for that? Anyway, 3, since the seats are in the front, it's super easy to fill up last with no delays. 4, plane fills up faster because first class people are not in the way as coach heads to the back of the plane. But they're not in the way, are they? Because they go the other way. I don't agree. Concerts should include a digital recording of the performance with a purchase of a ticket and ban phone recordings. I don't agree. I thought about this for a minute. I don't agree. Because 1, if you include a digital recording of the gig, that might make some people go, okay, there's no point in me going to the gig anymore because I've seen a digital recording of it. I don't like crowds, blah, blah, blah. However, phone recordings, like I've seen a lot of phone recordings from James's gigs, and it's just people like in the crowd and stuff. It looks fun. I don't know. I just think it's more fun. I mean, maybe it is annoying to have, you know, phones constantly recording, but I think it's a net positive. It sucks having all these people watching the show through their phones. I mean, that's on them, really. Like, if they're filming the whole show on their phones, that's on them. That's not your problem that they have to hold up in someone else's view. Okay, yeah, that is quite annoying. It's even worse when they are recording the TV show in the performance. Make the show more enjoyable by banning phone recordings. Yeah, but that's just a rule that is so unenforceable. Like, imagine like a massive crowd of people and someone's like filming. What, is security going to shove through everyone to get someone to stop filming? I don't think so. The people won't watch the digital recording just like they don't watch their stupid phone recordings. A recorded show is cool, but people will still pay to see the live show and it won't hurt ticket sales. Right, maybe, but I think in the era of social media, it's good to sort of see what gigs are like before you go to them, if that makes sense. And I don't know, I think it's good for the artist as well, I think. I think it's more beneficial for the artist to have people filming at the gigs. Maybe block data for cell phones too and charge a couple $100 for a personal Wi-Fi key. What? This person's living in Delulu land. If someone is so attached to clout chasing, I don't think it's clout. I don't think it's that. Make them pay for ruining other people's experience and not living in their own moments. You're too miserable, I think. I don't agree. School isn't the problem. Most students are just lazy. Everyone loves to blame the education system for their failures, but the truth is most students just don't put the effort in. Okay, I am one of these students that didn't really put the effort in when I was at school, and I did okay. I got like C's and B's mainly. I failed a few things, things, but I got mainly C's and B's in my GCSEs. I don't think it's necessarily either. I'd say it's more on the student than the. I mean, it depends. It very much depends. But I think a lot of the. I mean, my case, it was definitely on me rather than the school. Like, I have friends that went to the same school as me that went to like Oxford and I don't know GPs and stuff. So like, it's definitely not school. It was just me because I just had no interest whatsoever in what I was being taught at school. The only things I had interest in really were the things I got like B's in, like English. I think my interest just simply didn't lie within school, and I feel as though a lot of people are quite similar. So I don't think it's necessarily because you can't force yourself to be interested in like fucking physics, can you? You just can't. And maybe that's a laziness on people like me's part, but I don't know. It's a thing of like, I just can't force myself to get involved or get interested with something I just simply don't fucking care about. I went to public school, nothing fancy, and the kids who studied and actually paid attention did fine. The ones who partied, skipped classes, and made excuses are the ones now crying about how school failed. Then maybe it's not the system, maybe it's you. I would agree, but like, I think there is a bit more nuance than just you're lazy. But yeah, I would agree, sort of. A little bit. Making the bed every morning is totally pointless. I watched a speech the other day from this guy. It was like a commencement speech. What was his name? It was at the University of Texas. Yeah, this guy, Admiral McRaven. It's a very good speech. And he basically says that making your bed every morning is just a little thing in your brain that goes, okay, you've completed a task for the day. It's a good way to start the day. I agree. I don't fucking do it because I just fucking roll out of bed every day. I don't do it, but I don't think it's totally pointless. I think saying totally pointless is just, I don't think that's true. I've never really understood the obsession with making the bed every morning. First, it was my mum growing up every day before school, make your bed, and now it's my girlfriend doing the same thing. Every morning she's on me about it. Come on, let's make the bed together. It'll make the room look nice. Yeah, that's true. It's a nice getting in a made bed. It is. And even like, say if you're just chilling on the bed in the middle of the day, it's nice to have it nice and made. I don't know, it is a nice thing. Nice for who? We both work all day, no one's even seeing it. Yeah, but like, it doesn't feel great when you're coming into bed to go to sleep and it's just like a mess of sheets. I'm saying this as someone who does this most days. I do want to get back into the habit of making my bed because sometimes I'll do it for a week, a month, and then I'll just fucking give up. She does it religiously. Like the second we get out of the bed, boom, she's fluffing the pillow straight in the sheets, smoothing everything like we're filming a commercial. And God forbid I sit back down for a second, I get the death stare. I think she's onto it. Maybe not the thing about you sitting back down. I think that should be allowed, but I think she is clearly a very productive person, and that's a good quality to have. Seriously, what is the logic here? You spend all night in it, mess it out completely, and then what? Spend 5 minutes every morning just to make it look untouched for the next 12 hours. No one's seeing it. We're not running a hotel. And even if someone did randomly walk into our room, why would they? I doubt their day is going to be ruined by an unmade bed. I don't know, man. It just feels like one of those because that's what adults do things. Like, no one actually has a good reason. We just do it because our parents did it, and now we think not doing it means you're lazy or immature or some crap. Better for sleeping, not for show. I disagree. I think it's just nice. It takes 30 seconds, and I think it makes going to bed at night much nicer. Sleepovers should be normal for adults. They're way better than parties. Think about it. Movies, snacks, talking until 3 a.m. No pressure to dress up. No expensive drinks. No worrying about getting home. Just hanging out and laughing like when we were kids honestly feels healthier and way more fun than a crowded party. I tell you what, I'm going to do... I've just got myself a house and it's got a spare room. This is the main thing. One of the main things I wanted to get a house with a spare room for, so I can just like invite friends over and we can have like sleepovers and shit. Like that's it. I mean, I do that sometimes, but it's sort of like they got to sleep on the sofa or the beanbag, and it's just not as comfortable, and I kind of feel bad for them. But like inviting an old school friend over, you know, turning on the fucking Xbox 360, playing some games, ordering a takeaway. It's class. It is better than a party. I don't like hosting parties. Parties are, I don't know, they create a lot of mess, and it's just like, I don't know, I don't like it. I don't like having to be in control of a load of people in my home. Just nothing worse. Well, there is things worse, but you know what I mean. It's not fun. So yeah, I agree, but I don't think they're abnormal. I mean, maybe when you get to like your 30s, but I don't know. I still sort of do this. Entire seasons of shows coming out at once has ruined TV. Think about it. It used to be exciting, looking forward to Tuesdays because a new episode of the latest show is out. We used to all eagerly await a premiere and then go into work the next day and say, did you see the newest episode? I sort of agree. So, like, I think a lot of shows are doing this now. I think a lot of the HBO ones do this. And also, I think this is what makes things like, I mean, I know it's not necessarily a scripted TV show, but things like The Traitors, I think that is what makes things like The Traitors so special, because everyone's going to watch the episode and you can talk about it and be, oh, what the fuck do you think is going to happen next? And you don't just sit down with some sweat who's watched the whole thing in one and knows the ending. You can actually talk about shows when they come out like weekly or daily or whatever, so everyone is on the same page, rather than, you know, everyone's doing different things. You can't really talk about it until you're finished watching it. Last time I can remember this happening is Game of Thrones, because HBO still made us wait weekly. I think they still do for a lot of shows. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I did watch White Lotus all in one. I think they did that for White Lotus. I could be wrong though. Also, with streaming, we no longer get to enjoy seasonal shows, Halloween episodes, Christmas specials. Ooh, that is true. That is true. I think one of my favorite, well, it's not even a Christmas movie, but one of my favorite things to watch at Christmas is the Christmas special of Extras. I think it's just absolutely brilliant. I love it. It's one of my favorite things to watch at Christmas. We don't really get anything like that nowadays, do we? TLDR, streaming took the community and excitement out of TV. Weekly releases are a better way to format TV shows. I agree. I more or less wholeheartedly agree. Although sometimes it is fun just to binge a show. Oh, another sort of anti-streaming service post. Streaming services killed movie nights and made everything bland as hell. Okay, I feel as though I'm probably going to agree with this. Let's be real, streaming killed actual movie culture. Watching a movie used to be something you actually cared about. Now it's just endless scrolling through a sea of trash no one asked for. You spend 20 minutes picking something and then settle for some bland-ass Netflix original that's forgettable as hell. Okay, I'll tell you why it is. It's because we actually had to do something to get movies. It was either a thing of we have to get up, go to the cinema, which is still the case for new releases, and I love it. I love going to the cinema. So it was either that, or you had to get up and go out and buy a DVD or Blu-ray, or you had to go to Blockbuster. That was a fun experience. And then later on, things like, this was before stream services. I remember at my house we had Virgin TV, and you could buy movies on there, but there was a process to it. You had to put your card in, you had to pay for it. I still think, I think it was better when, you had to actually go out and work for your movie. You had to get in the car, you had to go to Blockbuster, you had to walk around the shelves, you had to pick up, this look good. And then you look forward to watching it. And whereas now everything is just at our fingertips, we don't have to actually, I don't want to say the word graft because it's not graft, but I'm going to say it anyway. You had to graft to be able to watch a movie. You had to go out and get it. You actually had to go out and get it. There was a process to it which made it feel rewarding. It's the reward mechanism in your brain. Whereas now, we have fucking thousands of movies we could watch, and we just have interest in very, very, very few of them. I don't know. I've been tempted to get rid of my streaming services and just go back to buying physical, because I just think I would enjoy the movies and TV shows a lot more if I did it that way. But then again, it's just I don't know, I would miss out on the new releases of things, because I don't know. I think if you want to watch new things, you do have to have the subscriptions. Every streaming service is the same shit, just with different logos. Netflix, Hulu, Prime, Disney+, HBO Max, all recycling the same tired plots and cookie cutter movies that nobody remembers next week. I wouldn't say they're all the same, but everything feels very forgettable now. And even when a platform puts out something very good and very memorable, for example, do you remember the Queen's Gambit? That was a fucking phenomenal limited series. Nobody talks about it now. I know it was maybe 5 years ago that came out, but that's one that sticks in my mind. It's wow, that was probably the best thing Netflix ever put out, and nobody really references it anymore. They don't want to make good content. They want you locked in, paying every month for whatever filler they can pump out fast. Movie theaters used to be hype. Now they're dead ass boring, with spoilers flooding Twitter and people too lazy or distracted to actually sit for a good movie. Streaming made entertainment easy, but it also sucked the soul out and left us with nothing but boring ass garbage. I agree. I think movies, TV shows were more fun. First of all, when you had to wait a week for a new episode to come out, and also when you had to go out and fend for yourself. You had to fight for the movies you wanted to watch. You had to go to Blockbuster and HMV and stuff. You had to actually pay for every movie you watched. I know you still pay through a subscription service, but it's just not the same. It's just not the same, I don't think. Gaming hasn't become boring as you reach your 30s. It's just that the gaming industry is lackluster these days. I've been having this debate with myself. Am I just bored of gaming and grow too old for it? I'm 30. Or is the game industry just lacking now? I think it's the latter. Let's be honest, this gen sucks. It's been around 5 years since the PS5 came out, and how many fully fledged native exclusive PS5 titles have we gotten? That's true. I think it is just getting older. And I think a lot of the thing with gaming is it was a very community-driven thing with the sort of rise of online gaming. And I feel as though as you get older, people get busier. You speak to your friends less. You're just playing single-player games most of the time, or multiplayer games without other people. I feel as though that's a big sort of determining factor in how much you enjoy games, is who you're doing it with. You could probably count them with 2 hands. Single player games don't make as much money as live service games, so they've been dwindling. Xbox has basically kicked the bucket and gave up in competing with Sony, which means Sony doesn't have to release exclusive games as much. So the lack of competition is definitely a factor in this. When a good game does come out, I play it. So it's not that I'm bored of gaming. It's just that this gen doesn't have much to offer. I disagree. I sort of agree, but I think it's just like I'm just not enjoying things as much. I tell you what, I have a lot of people are gonna be like, "What the fuck have you bought that?" Because it's gotten like kind of mixed to bad reviews. As I'm recording this video, I'm just downloading Call of Duty Black Ops 7. I don't know. It's just because I was just like, you know what? I miss the feeling of playing a Call of Duty. The last one I actually played was Cold War during COVID, and I used to fucking love Call of Duty. And it's just a multiplayer experience. You know, I just want to get involved in a multiplayer experience for, I don't know, 30, 40 hours of my year. It'll probably end up being a lot more than that if it's actually half decent. But, you know, I just want to have that feeling again of, you know, something exciting. What have I actually been playing recently? I don't really play too much on my PlayStation, to be honest. Okay, I'll just show you my fucking Steam. Jesus. So, downloading Call of Duty, and we've got Nubby's Number Factory. I've played fucking 17 hours of that. I'll show you what it is. It's actually really fun. It's just like, so whenever I'm like reviewing notes for a video, because it's just something you can kind of idly play. I'll have like it on one monitor and then I'll be like reviewing notes for a video on the other. And I'll just be playing this. It's just like a little like, you just... You just do that and the numbers get progressively larger. Yeah, that's really fun. I think indie games are getting pretty good now. Megabonk, I fucking love Megabonk. I've sunk like 50 hours into it. Football Manager, I played like 30 hours of Football Manager. I haven't played it in a couple weeks. I was only a cooling off period. Balatro, got Among Us from when I did Sidemen Among Us. And I just don't really play much other than that. Like, I don't really play games too much, to be honest. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe because it's like allows me to focus on things that kind of matter more to me, like things going on in my actual life. So I wouldn't say it's a bad thing, but like, yeah, okay, right. I would agree that a lot of games have become boring, but maybe that's just because I'm getting older and, you know, you experience less new things as you get older. So I will say a very, very light agree. Sorry, what? Instead of dipping and pouring over, sauces and dressings should be sipped. Well, you should just have a little shot glass of sauce after every bite. What the fuck? What? If you take sips... Also, they're so thick. Like, ketchup is thick. What do you mean? If you take sips out of your condiments, you can get the perfect amount needed for each bite. Yeah, but imagine, just sipping ketchup. No, grim. Smaller bite, just a smaller sip. Didn't like the sauce, you can leave it and it's no longer all over your food. That's why you dip it. You don't fucking pour it over if you don't know if you like it. Sauces should be able to hold their own anyway. If you have multiple sauces or dressings, you can control the experience way better than if you just poured them or dipped them. There is no waste or wasteful mixing. Sipping is just superior in every way. I will never stop sipping. I am not crazy or no, you're insane. No, I disagree. People that don't use desktops or laptops are weird. Yes. I've been saying this. People that do all of their shit. They do all, like, I know people that did like all of their like uni work and shit off their phone. What are you doing? What are you doing? I get it that there is a whole generation that does everything on their phone and it's not crazy. I think it's weird that people don't even give a desktop PC or a laptop a chance because they think that they don't need them. Even when I'm on my laptop, I'm like, I need 2 monitors. I feel as though I need 2 monitors. I think even using my laptop isn't like the best experience for like getting shit done. I would love a third, but I just don't have the space on my desk and it just feels cluttered and I don't know. I think 3 is excessive. But yeah, having 2 monitors I think is a necessity for me. Even if I'm just doing shit like bank transferring or working out numbers or something, I need 2 monitors. I don't know, maybe I've just grown too accustomed to it. I can do most things on my phone, but having a file system, that's exactly it. The file system, the file system on phones is shit. And a million other benefits make using a normal computer an easier solution for things like paying bills or checking your stupid social media. Just having a mouse and keyboard is huge, I agree. But anything beyond scrolling TikTok, like paying bills, managing documents, or even checking multiple tabs of your precious social media, a proper computer just makes life easier. A million % agree. Halloween adults are equally as cringy and annoying as Disney adults. For 12 months out of the year, they'll tell you how into Halloween they are. Then for the whole month of October, they tell you about their Halloween plans, their costumes, their decorations. I mean, you do you, but it doesn't have to be in my face all the time. Okay, right. I don't think this really happens that much in the UK. I feel as though that's more of an American thing. But I will say Halloween is probably my least favorite holiday. I just don't fucking care. I just do not care. I do not care about Halloween. So I don't know. I've never met a Halloween adult, so I couldn't really comment on this, but I would probably disagree. Cats aren't actually low maintenance pets. They're just emotionally distant. You've never met a good cat. You never met a good little cat. They're not emotionally distant. Well, some of them are, but a lot of them aren't. People always say that cats are easier than dogs because they don't need as much attention, but honestly, they just hide their needs better. Litter boxes still smell, not if you get the right thing, or put a little bit of bicarbonate of baking soda bicarbonate. One of them, I don't know if they might even be the same things. Put a little bit of that at the bottom of a little tray, doesn't smell. They still wake you up at 3 a.m. doing parkour, and God forbid you're 5 minutes late feeding them. I don't know. I've never had that. I've had cats like a lot of my life. I've never had that experience. Like, a lot of them are chill with, you know, as long as you feed them. Then I mean, it depends on how much of a routine you get them in when they're young. Like, a lot, it's just how they're sort of formed when they're younger. Like, when I've had cats, they've never had like a set feeding time. It's just sort of been morning and evening. So they've never been sort of pressy about that. Anyway, plus the emotional payoff is way lower unless you get lucky with a cuddly one. I'm starting to think low maintenance is just code for you'll be ignored in your own home. You will be. But they are low maintenance. Like, they are. You know, you just need to feed them, make sure their water's clean their litter tray if they're not an outdoor cat. They're not high maintenance. They're like, you know, if you go away on holiday, you have to get someone to look after them, and you know, they're not. I wouldn't actually say they're low maintenance. A low maintenance I consider to be like, you know, a snake or something, like something you need to feed like every 2 weeks. But they're not emotionally distant. They're really not. They're really lovely animals. They're just not all over you like dogs are. But yeah, I will disagree with that. And on that note, like and subscribe, and I'll give you a lovely cat.